Ho, 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 ho! 'Tis the season for a Christmas ranking. I'm Chad Webb, one of your hosts. My other host over here,
Nailed it.
James. Nailed it. How are you doing, James?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm ready to get into some Christmas movies.
Absolutely. I love me a good Christmas movie. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Absolutely. And we have some brilliant guests to have with us on here. We got Kerri and a cat by the name of Binks. You're muted.
Damn it. Sorry. He's
Is
got
that
a
a
little
little Binks?
Christmas. Yeah, it is a little Banks. He's got a little Christmas collar. I'm gonna see if I can show you
Oh,
without him.
there he
Oh,
is.
No,
look
not
at that
really. You
cute
can't see. You
baby.
can't see his collar. Just his face. Even cuter.
He's sweet. I love that cat so much. Yeah, so we got him and her. I don't know if I don't know if Binks is gonna be ranking with us, but we'll see. And we got Dill
Hello.
Randazzo, one of
Hello,
my
thanks
good
for having me
buddies.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we all have we love Christmas, right? Everybody loves Christmas here.
I hope so. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's some great Christmas spirit from everybody. I wanted to show Dill my hat though. It's like one of the best hats that I'm sure he's gonna love. Christmas.
Oh,
Oh,
He's gonna
great.
punch you.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
no.
Yeah, sure.
You got any?
Whatever.
Okay. Hmm.
You can barely see it though. So
Hard disagree.
Last
I'm
I checked,
gonna
the Patriots were losing 14-0. So
I'm gonna do this. That's not a Patriots hat. I don't know what you're talking about. But
well, same city, or same area. Oh, 17-0 actually. So
you can barely see it, so Dill will not get triggered
okay.
much today, hopefully. But we'll see, depending on like ranking choices. But we're gonna do something different. So far, we've done a Edgar Wright ranking. We've done a Harry Potter ranking, and those we've actually like prepared a list. We prepared a definitive ranking. Here, we're going to do something a little different. This is like a kind of tier ranking thing that people do. I don't know if you've ever seen the chart. There's like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. So we have, a kind of a chart going on like that. We have a list of like pre-selected movies that we are going to pretty much choose from. With the way you make these things, if it's something else that's not actually on the list, we can do like an honorable mention, but we're not going to be able to really like rank it on the actual physical chart. But I'll go ahead and bring that up and kind of explain what we're doing here. So how this is going to work is we're going to each go around and we're going to nominate a Christmas film. If this thing will come up. Okay, so we actually have our chart. So this is like the slew of movies that we have. We have a lot of different ones in here. Actually, it looks like I have some movies twice, but that's okay. How's this split? Okay, jumping around on me. All right, so we have some horror ones here. We have some regular ones here. We have some comedies, and a lot of different stuff on here. So we'll have to see where everybody falls with this. So how's it going to work? Is I'll go ahead and start. I'll nominate a Christmas film that I either like or I don't like, and I can put it wherever I want. I can say, this movie is amazing. It's S tier. It's one of the best of the best. Or I can go, this movie's not that great. I'm gonna actually nominate this one for a D tier, and you can just kind of like trash on a movie. Just maybe be a little nice about it.
yeah,
but
like a nice Christmas trash. It's like
yeah,
still
yeah.
good spirited.
Good spirit. Yeah, that's what we're aiming for here. So and then we'll go around on that one movie. We'll talk about it. We'll each talk about it, and we'll say, hey, this is where this movie belongs. And we'll do like an average kind of ranking. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. Just say you haven't seen it, and but you won't know where to put it. So your kind of opinion on it won't matter as much for the actual chart. But all right, so I'll go ahead and start here. I'm just going to start with one movie that I just like loved ever since I was a kid. I just adore watching every year. I haven't watched it yet this year, and I'm very excited to watch it this year. I think it's just one of the most fun movies you can watch. I'm going to nominate Home Alone. as one of one of the best Christmas movies ever made. It's so fun. And I'm gonna actually nominate it and put it in S tier. I really think this movie is kind of perfect. Just everything with the arcs, the family stuff between Kevin McAllister and his mom. You get this kid who's kind of he feels like kind of like the middle kid, or it's actually the youngest in his own little nuclear family, but like amongst everybody, he just kind of feels left out. No one really understands him, and he makes a wish, and he says, I wish my family would disappear, or whatever. Like, I wouldn't be that sad if you were gone. And then that happens, and at first he's
Chad, can you scroll up?
Thanks for that. And at first he's really pumped and excited about being home alone and stuff, but then he starts to see things where it's just gonna jump around. He starts to see things where he misses his family. He starts to look at pictures of his family and just miss that they're there. And then when he gets them back, he finally finds that the true spirit of Christmas is just, being with your family. And it's not good to, be home alone for that long. And it's just very funny. I love the villains, Harry and Marv in the movie. Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are just so good in the movie. It's just a really fun family, like, kind of crime film, and it's just really fun. It was made not thinking it was going to be that great, and then it ended up being one of the most successful movies ever. So that John Williams score too. All right, so we can go to James. What's your take on Home Alone?
It's funny. I don't know. To be honest, I've never really looked at Home Alone like that before. I guess just given the age range of the kid and I guess the novelty maybe of the traps he makes to protect the house from the guys breaking in. I've always found it really amusing. I found it really funny, funnier than some others. I don't know how much I could else add to it, really, to be honest.
Okay. Where, if you had to rank Home Alone on this chart, S, A, B, C, or D, where would you put it?
Give it an A.
An A. Okay. So we have an S and we have an A. Kerri, what do you think about Home Alone?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of debating between S and A. I might lean A. I do really love this movie. I hadn't actually seen it, I think, until Chad and I moved in together. This wasn't a movie I watched when I was younger, so I think that just doesn't have the same nostalgia for me, but I do think it's just a fantastic Christmas movie, and I do enjoy watching it every Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not trying to say that nostalgia doesn't play a heavy factor here for me. It definitely does. Dale, what do you think about Home Alone?
Yeah, I think you just hit it on the nail on the head on the last statement you made, and that's nostalgia. I think that's the reason why I wouldn't put it as high, only because I saw this for the first time last year. So it's a different perspective. I never really loved the idea of the family leaving anyone behind to begin with, just because I feel like that just doesn't really sound like a normal thing that anyone would do. I guess maybe it has happened where you leave a kid behind, but to take the whole trip and get as far as they get before realizing they leave them behind, that part just as the nervous person I am, I was always like, how could you do that? What? And also just Kevin himself, you have to kind of just get used to his energy, because it is a lot. It's he is a very he's very out there. But I enjoyed it when I watched it. I would give it a B, only because I haven't had the time to really build the nostalgia for it and grow as fondly for it as everyone else. But it was enjoyable watch. It's just I was just how did they leave him behind? I felt bad for him, but at the same time I was he's a little brat sometimes, but also you grow to love him. And I love the relationship with the neighbor who he thinks is scary, but it really isn't. It's one of those things I want to revisit to get that
Marley,
fondness for it. But yeah, the John Williams score is awesome. So I'd put it at
amazing.
B. But
it's
definitely not any lower than that for me.
Yeah, I get why people, some people, if you don't have that nostalgia, might think it's just more of a fine movie. But I think like some of the brilliance is actually kind of where you're like, how could they do that? I feel like the brilliance of it is kind of they explain that a little bit too. Is like they're running late, they slept in, the thing knocked the power lines down, the clock's turned off, they're late, so they're rushing, and then they get a wrong head count. I just think a lot of the touches like that make it.
I feel like someday when I become a parent, I'm either gonna like this movie a lot more because I'll be like, oh, okay, I totally understand how they left him behind because this is stressful, or I will hate this movie more because I'll be like, I would never do that to my kid. So we'll see. Ask me in however many years until I'm a parent, and then I'll let you know how I really feel in terms of that because I can't really relate. So I don't know.
All right, so we got 2 A's, an S, and a B. So this is a strong A.
Cool.
There we go. Perfect. I'm not mad about that. All right, James, did you want to go next and nominate a film?
Sure. I'd have to say we'll start with The Grinch. And I personally would give this one an S. I mean, I love pretty much all things
2000's The Grinch? Okay.
Yeah, the Jim Carrey one.
Where is this movie?
It's on there. I saw it.
Right. I can't really point it out. Second column.
You said this is an S for you, James, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a very different panel than I was on last time. All right, go ahead, James.
I think it's a hysterical movie. I love all things Jim Carrey. He's hilarious. I get told I look like the guy all the time, so that's kind of something else.
You kind of do.
For these movies. Oh, I've gotten that so much. It's not
smoking.
I get that all the time. I look like Jim Carrey, but I like his take on the story. I like the aesthetics. I always watch this movie every chance I get to at Christmas time. I absolutely love this movie.
Hell yeah, dude. Kerri, what do you think about The Grinch?
I'm sorry.
Grinch stole Christmas.
I mean, we watch this movie occasionally. I don't love it. It has some parts that make me laugh sometimes. I would probably put it as a C. It's like enjoyable watch, but I'm definitely not going to be the one to suggest this movie. If we're watching it, it's because Chad has said
we're watching it tonight.
If I were going to choose a Grinch movie, I would choose the one that Chad hates, and that's like the 1960s like TV special.
Oh, Chad hates. Oh no.
I hate the song. I hate that song. It's so disgusting. Ugh.
I love that song.
Is he not even on this graphic? I'm looking. I don't even think you put him
on. No, there's no way you put it on here.
But no one complained that it wasn't on there, so.
Well, I wasn't gonna add more.
All right, so Kerri, where would you put it again?
I said C. I'm sorry.
So we got an S and we got a C. Dill, how do you feel about How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
It's interesting because
I'm a Jim Carrey stan.
It's interesting because I am a Jim Carrey stan, but I honestly haven't seen this movie since I was little, so I really can't say how much I think of it as like an actual movie. But I remember the performance being really fun. Like when I think of Jim Carrey's most like eccentric performances, this is one that comes to mind immediately, and I do remember the like. Classic, what should I wear? Like all his like crazy shticks and faces and all that stuff. And, like I think the character's so good. I don't really know about the movie only because it's been so long since I've seen it. But also I love the song, Where Are You Christmas? Such a sweet little song. That little girl who sings it with her little beautiful little voice. It's kind of like the American Tail 5-0 voice where it's like this little kid who's just learned how to sing for the first time, sings it. It's adorable. So I would give it maybe a low B, high C. I'll stick it with B because I'm a Jim Carrey stan. So I'll say Jim Carrey stan gets a B for me.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, this movie came out, when I was like 10. So yeah, I really loved this movie as a kid, just because I was a huge Jim Carrey fan too. I mean, I loved Ace Ventura. I loved Liar Liar, all these great Jim Carrey comedies, Dumb and Dumber. I just loved everything about Jim Carrey back in the day. To see him actually do like a live action Grinch was so cool. He really knocked it out of the park with the humor and everything. But I will also mirror the things that Kerri and Dill were saying, where I say that like the movie itself, might drag a little bit. I love saying Little Baby Grinch. It's so adorable. And you kind of get like a really good, like they develop the character pretty well because you can actually identify with why he's so damn grinchy because this town was like against him from day one because of, I guess, the color of his fur. So
And his fur, the fact that he had it.
The fact that he has fur at all, correct. That's a great point. I love that James loves this movie. It's interesting because I was on a different Christmas ranking and everybody was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. I hate this movie. D. I was the only one that gave it, like, where did I have it? I think I had it at B or C, maybe. But I'm going to go with, I actually can't tell, but I'm going to go with A, actually, on this one. Just because James actually kind of raised my enjoyment for this movie just because of Jim Carrey and everything he put in that role. And I just feel like, he kind of like dives into some of these roles. The effort that he put in, I'd put it an A. So we got a C, we got a B, we got an A, and we got an S.
So it's either A or B, one of those two.
Yeah, so I would put it at A right behind Home Alone for now.
Yeah,
and then we could just remember... Or let's put it at the high B.
What did we have? S, A, B, and C. That's the range.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's S or B or A or B. We don't.
Yeah. But I also
like
I had
8.5. It's like an A minus B plus.
I had it around
you can add another tier.
I had it around B before, so I'll just drag it down to a very high B for now. All right. So Kerri, did you have a movie that you wanted to rank?
Yes, I want to rank as an S tier movie, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Of course.
All time favorite Christmas movie.
All right. And that we allowed this. A lot of don't because it's kind of a TV movie. But I was like, we're not going to not have Rudolph on this.
He wasn't going to not have his wife's favorite Christmas movie on here. So, thanks, Chad.
Why do you love Rudolph so much? So damn much.
I will say, I still love this movie, but I will acknowledge his 100% nostalgia. This has been my favorite Christmas movie since I can even remember. I always watched it with my mom and sister when we would bake cookies. We always watched it for Christmas. And my mom, this was a TV special. So in the 90s, my mom taped it and we just rewatched the taped version from TV every year. And it had all the classic 90s Christmas commercials. So like the classic snowman melting Campbell soup commercial, Ronald McDonald commercial, M&M's commercial where the M&M's see Santa and they like faint. And then Jell-O commercial that has not aged well.
Oh my God. She remembers all these commercials.
Because we watch this movie every year, the same taped version. I don't know if it still exists. I think my sister might have it somewhere in her garage. But
maybe.
Anyways, I've gone on too long about the commercials I used to watch.
Okay, Dill, Rudolph?
Yeah, S tier.
It
is one of my favorite little holiday classics. I consider it a movie because I think with the commercials, it goes longer than an hour, and there we go. I classify it as a movie if it's longer than an hour.
I think the Oscars would too. So.
Yeah, even if it's a short film, it is a film nonetheless. It is not an episode of television. It is its own little story, and I love it. Island of Misfit Toys is very trippy. I love it. I love it. So yes, S.
Nobody wants to play with the Charlie in the box. Yeah, Rudolph. D. No, I'm just kidding.
Chad's brain just coming out.
I think the only kind of issue now, but it actually might not even be a detractor from it, is kind of actually how dark this movie is a little bit. That you see when you're an adult, and then you're like, wait a second, did Yukon just actually tear out all the teeth from that monster? What the heck is going on with this movie? This is supposed to be for kids? I don't know. Sometimes I'm watching it and I'm like, that just doesn't sit right with me. So I kind of want to put it closer to A, but like the love for it so far makes me like, no, it is a Christmas classic. It's a fun, like, what is it? It's claymation, right? It's like a fun
Yeah.
claymation film, and I love like pretty much all of the ones that have come out of those, and it just has some of the great songs too, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I love the relationship between him and what's her face, and then he goes, "She thinks I'm
Clarice.
cute," and Clarice, yeah. So it just has a lot of really great moments. It's fun. It's like it's the story of the misfit, and he actually finds his place, and his home. And like I said before, I think that's well, I actually said it in the Harry Potter episode, but Christmas films are where you find your home, you find your family, and I feel like that really does it really well. James, what do you think about Rudolph?
I have to give it an S too. I mean, it's the classic Christmas movie. It's nostalgic. I grew up watching it. I'm going to continue to watch it. Whenever it's on, whenever I find it. Yeah, like you said, he did yank the fangs right out of that abominable snowman. I was like, damn. Like, do you know how much effort it would take to do that? Like a full grown animal's like fangs, probably pretty rooted into its face. Like, I was like, holy shit. But yeah, I liked it, man. S for sure.
Yeah, they don't just like try to like kill him or anything. They just like basically like shackle him and make him put a thing on top of the tree. I'm not trying to ruin Rudolph for you. I'm just saying it's pretty dark.
No, I want to say one thing. As we've all said, we grew up watching this, and this is like, I think this was made in like the 60s or 70s.
Oh yeah, it's an old Rankin and Bass.
We're all 90s and 2000s kids. We all grew up watching. I will say, Chad and I's little 2-year-old niece Scarlett, this is now her favorite Christmas movie, and it's so cute to like pass this along.
Nice.
Yeah, just watching this with like my mom and dad too. Yes, very special movie. All right, so that's Rudolph. So that was Kerri. So Dill, yeah.
Okay, I have four. I have four that I'm like, these are probably my top four, and they have not all been mentioned. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the one that I don't think will come up before the other three. Like I think you guys will mention the other three maybe. So I'm gonna go with the one that's probably the less known because it is the most recent, and that is Klaus. I absolutely adore this film. It is a great origin story to the mythology of Santa Claus. It just came out on Netflix a few years ago. Beautiful music, animation, just the characters, the voice acting. But really taking a story that you think you've seen it all from, you think you've seen the tiredness of it. Santa Claus tried so hard to like show that version of the origin story of Santa Claus, and like there's so many other films about Santa Claus the movie itself, and it's like, how many iterations and origin stories can we have? It's like when they keep remaking Batman every 10 years, but it just works every time, and I really love this origin story above the rest. It is fairly new, so I don't know how many listeners are familiar with it, but I really would recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. It is really, really great. So I'd put that in S tier. I think it's a really great new Christmas story. Yeah, it kind of borrows similar beats to Emperor's New Groove because you got kind of like the narcissistic, annoying, skinny guy, and then the big like teddy bear. But it's there's a reason those movies work. It's because that pairing works so well. And J.K. Simmons is great. Jason Schwartzman is great. So yeah, that's my pick for S tier.
I never even really thought about the connection between those two, but that's kind of funny actually.
When you watch it again, think about it.
You said Klaus S tier. All right, let me put it there real quick. But I'll go ahead and start talking about Klaus. Yeah, exactly what Dill said. It's a really great new one, and you get a lot of these like kind of fun new movies, but this one is a really great. It feels like the next kind of like Christmas classic, and they approach it like from like a different perspective. You don't start the movie with Santa. You start it with Jesper, and you got to see his arc going, from the beginning to the end. And he's just not really wanting to do anything. And then all of a sudden, he starts to work hard when he sees that at first it's kind of selfish reasons. He wants to get out of that damn place, but then he finds out his that he can actually change the place and change Klaus and help him become Santa. And Klaus is a really sad, tragic figure. And I just feel like a lot of this, like, stuff really strengthens, these characters where you get to see them change and become, who they're meant to be. And there's a lot of really funny parts in the movie too, like with the really creepy kids, and they're just like putting the nose into the snowman, and you're just like, oh my god, what the this town is crazy. The animation style is great. I just every time I watch this movie, I just love it. Like, they use like kind of like random pop song pretty well. I feel like the music in this is pretty sweet and
that
fun.
original song "Invisible" is like it's when the little girl has her sled. It's like this really like cheesy moment, but I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, and then you have like the little girl from out of town who like just wants to mail her letter. It's just a very sweet movie, and it's just so cute. Sorry, dude. But yeah, Klaus, I would also second S tier. I'm fine with that. James?
I have not seen that movie.
All right, so that was a not seen. Kerri?
Okay. Well, I think regardless of what, because I was going to say S or A, I was debating just because I'm like, I mean, can we overfill the S tier? Because I'm looking at all the movies. There are so many I would love to put on S tier.
We'll debate it later if it fills up.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Anyways, I love this movie. I think we've watched it a couple times now, and it's so sweet. It's so good. It keeps you entertained the whole time. Yeah, James, I think you and Brittany would absolutely adore this movie. Highly recommend it.
On Netflix.
Because I know James also loves animated films, so he'd really like this.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I agree.
All right.
S tier. It's going to be an S tier anyway, so that makes me happy.
There we go. What we all agreed that Rudolph was S tier, so we will not put it before Rudolph or in front of Rudolph. All right. So now we're back to me. I'm going to do... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm not sure like how many other people would nominate this one because I kind of know Kerri's semi-feelings on this one. And I'm going to actually shoot really high because I don't know where she might put this one. I'm going to go with the Santa Claus because I'm going with all of my nostalgia picks. I absolutely freaking love this movie. And yes, I'm putting it in S tier. The reason why I love this movie so much is actually similar to Klaus. Is that I think this has like one of the best like Santa origins, and like even though he fills the place of it's not a true Santa origin, but it's that Santa's origin, and I feel like I know not a lot of people like love Tim Allen or love his politics or whatever. All that aside, I think he is brilliant in this movie, like a Scott Calvin, because he plays the kind of dad who's kind of half there. He wants to spend time with his kid, but he doesn't believe in Christmas or Santa Claus. Obviously, he's a freaking adult. Why would he? But like even when he like goes, he thinks it's all a dream. He has the brilliant quote of, "When I wake up, I'm getting a CAT scan," and it's just like And I just love the relationship between him and his son Charlie. And, for me as a kid at probably around Charlie's age, I think that actor's a little older than I am actually. But watching this movie, I just adored it. Seeing him go to the North Pole, slowly become Santa Claus. And then when he starts to do it, like, kids are, wanting to sit on his lap and come to him and tap on his shoulder and like, I want a present. And, like he reaches the, Charlie's stepdad and mom and just shows them that Santa can be real, and you don't have to think about everything as like super like practical. It's kind of very similar to another movie that'll probably come up later, but I just love the message of this movie, and it reaches the inner child of Neil and Charlie's mom. I don't remember her name, but yeah, when he finally gets his weenie whistle, it just makes me so happy. I love this movie. I would put it S tier. What do you think, James? Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
I'd probably also give it an S tier. I do like the way that the story is told and is portrayed. I like the way they portray the North Pole. They the Santa Claus with the E on it because he picked up the car. You know, he
Bernard
becomes
the
Santa.
elf.
Like, I understand. I think it's pretty cool. I do like to watch this movie every Christmas time. I'd probably give it an S tier. Yeah, I like it.
Hell yeah, dude. And all right, Kerri, what do you
Oh
think
my
about
god,
the Santa Claus?
you're like, I'm not gonna give it a D tier or anything. I'm gonna say B tier.
Okay.
I do actually enjoy this movie now. I do enjoy watching it during Christmas time. I will say when I was a kid, I don't think a thing against Tim Allen per se, but I think the style of movie, his style of movie, this movie, and a lot of his other movies, I just did not enjoy when I was a kid. So it doesn't hold that same nostalgia for me. But I think it is just a fun classic holiday movie. So I'd say
you love this and Galaxy Quest, so I think you like
Galaxy Quest I didn't see when I was a kid. I do love that movie. That's like one of my favorites.
Yeah. All right. So we got 2 S's of B. And Dill, what do you think about the Santa Claus?
This was a very big, like, nostalgic, like, I loved watching it as a kid, but watching it when I'm older, I will admit, it doesn't hold up as well. But I still enjoy parts of it. I love the characters themselves. I actually think the sequels are not as bad as people make them out to be. Obviously, this is the best of the 3, but like Martin Short has a blast in the 3rd one. I love watching him. The 2nd one, it's really great to see him like in a real romance, like finding that Mrs. Claus. I'd put the whole trilogy rather, upper like B, A. But like this one, I think is the best of it. So I would give it maybe like a high B, only because it doesn't hold up as well as when I was a kid. But if I was a kid, I would give it an A. So like I'm like in the A- B+ range, but I'll go B because me right now, I would be quicker to put on other movies before it. But it's solid enough. So I'm putting that at B.
Yeah, I adore this one, but I understand not a lot of people have the same love for it. So 2 S's and 2 B's. I will put it down at A.
Yeah, perfect average.
Should it be before or after Home Alone? I'll just
Home
leave it where it
Alone
is.
Had what? An S, 2 A's, and a B?
We can vote for it later.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it there.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so,
I didn't know we were getting that far into it where we're like ranking within the tier.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I like where it is there, though. Yeah, I like
James, what is your next nom in Nation?
Is there a category or a tier here for movies that aren't Christmas movies?
Oh, actually, you know what? I did.
Is there?
You can add one right now, Chad.
Oh, I can add a new.
If you click the little wheel on the right of D tier, and then add tier below or something like that.
Look at that. Add row below.
There you go, dude.
We're adding one right now. Wait, and then I label it right.
You got to
here.
add a row below first.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
Oh,
Oh no.
Hold on. There we go. Okay, and then here we go. Got this right here.
Change the color.
What is not a Christmas movie, James?
You gotta put that like purple or blue or something.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas.
Yeah, blue for Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Oh, off the top of my head, I would have to say Die Hard.
Are you okay?
We're gonna have a fight right now.
James is going into this. He's
Ooh.
putting Die Hard as
not
Christmas.
a Christmas movie. Iron Man 3 is not a Christmas movie.
All right, well, you're only
I
doing
agree
one.
with that.
Just you got one.
Huh?
All right, you're doing one as a. You're nominating one right now for not a Christmas movie, and that's Die Hard. All right, go ahead. What's your whole spiel about this?
It takes place during Christmas time, but the whole it's not. They look at all these other movies. No terrorists assault the Nakatomi building in any of these other movies. This is not.
That's very true.
Actually, that's true. Movies. I don't think any of these other movies the word motherfucker is said.
No, you might be right about that. Wait, they say that in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Do they?
No, they don't.
All right.
Maybe Bad Santa. I see that now. But the vast majority of these movies don't have guns and swearing and calendars with naked chicks on them and helicopter explosions and shit like that. I don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, man. I don't think it is.
Krampus.
Legit. If we're ranking them on not Christmas movie tiers, it's an S tier. But if our whole thing is it a Christmas movie? Nah, I don't think so. Nah.
That's fair, dude. That's fair. Krampus, what do you think about Die Hard as a Christmas movie, and where would you rank it?
Okay. Well, as a Christmas movie, Chad and I asked our real estate agent what her favorite Christmas movie was. And this is what she said. She said Die Hard. And I bought her this ornament. And I think
I want that, actually. You should buy 2.
I will argue that the whole movie revolves around the fact that it is Christmas time. He's at a holiday party. And they incorporate a lot of, Christmassy stuff into it. Like the music is Christmassy. There's like Christmas decorations everywhere. Anyways, I will definitely throw this movie on any Christmas. I consider it an S tier Christmas movie.
All right, and so I think Dill's next, right? What do you think, Dill? Where would you put this? And is it a Christmas movie?
I mean, it's an S tier film. It is one of the best films ever made. The thing is, I think if it didn't take place on Christmas, it could still happen. Like, it still happens, but I think the Christmas of it all is what kind of enhances it and kind of gives it the stakes, because there's that element of like him wanting to reconnect with his wife. Because like Chad said, Christmas is more about just like this sense of community and family. And again, like they play some Christmas tunes. Like when the guy is in the elevator opens, he's wearing a Santa hat. It's like the ho ho ho. Like there are little Christmas elements that I think only add to it and make it more special than just your generic action flick. So I do think it is a Christmas movie. I honestly think Home Alone itself would honestly stand alone better, or not better, but like could stand alone without being a Christmas movie. I think this movie could stand alone also without being a Christmas movie, but I think if you look at those two movies, if you take the Christmas out of Home Alone and the Christmas out of Die Hard is more of a generic action movie without the Christmas, and Home Alone is still kind of the same premise. It's this kid being left at home without the Christmas. So I'd honestly argue that Home Alone is less of a Christmas movie than Die Hard is. I obviously get like the stereotypical Christmas movie, yeah, like Die Hard's not it, but like I do think the Christmas nature of it really does, enhance it. And then if we're just talking the movie itself, it's perfect. I would still give it S tier, whether it's a Christmas movie or not. I just adore the movie. But yeah, I would lean it into the Christmas tier. I know it is not the most Christmassy of any movie. Obviously, there's no Santa, there's no snow. I mean, I think there might be snow at the end. I don't remember, but
there is.
Yes, but yeah, I do think the Christmas nature of it. I mean, that's the whole reason the building's empty as is. Otherwise, the whole building, a lot of people there would be people on every floor if it wasn't Christmas, because the whole thing is that they're having a holiday party, so all the other floors are vacant. So I think that has to play a big part in it too. So yeah, I would definitely say S tier for this.
Go ahead, Krampus.
I'm gonna say I don't think it's snow. I think there's like burning papers.
I don't think there is snow.
But it is snowing something. It's not snowing snow, but it's snowing
something.
There it is.
And let's not
let it snow. So.
Okay, let's not forget that he does have a shirt that says "ho ho ho" on it underneath. However, it says "Now I have a machine gun."
Yeah.
The shirt in blood. The dude is "ho ho ho." Now I have a machine gun. And
right,
no
it's badass. Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's badass. You're correct.
Also, there's a person that falls out of the building too, along with all the money. So it's also raining people at the end.
So this is kind of like the age-old debate nowadays, where every freaking year someone brings it up and they're like, "Die Hard's not a Christmas movie," or they go, "Die Hard is a Christmas movie," and then someone loses their shit and goes, "What?" Kind of a deal. And I mean, it makes sense. I can see it going either way. I can see, both sides to it. Okay. I can see both sides to it. Basically, like, I hear James and I hear everybody else who says it's not a Christmas movie, but honestly, I think Dill said pretty much everything I was going to say. Like, he talked about it's a family. It's a guy reconnecting with his family that, he kind of got strayed away from, and he just like misses them so much. And yeah, he's coming there for Christmas time and, to see them on Christmas. And they just like kind of like throw in all of these little elements throughout the movie. And I just feel like, all those elements and the message about family and protecting your own and, stuff like that. And, just the regular guy, I mean, this is also what makes it a great movie, is just the regular guy just, doing his job and like, but also like somebody also, never mind. Yeah. So Die Hard is a great film. And I would also put it S tier as a Christmas film because I watch this every freaking year as a Christmas movie and I love it. So we're going to put it on S tier. And honestly, I'd put it above Klaus. Would everybody agree with that?
Yeah, because it's like
Except for James?
three S tier and a
We'll
not
put
a
it on
Christmas
S tier
movie.
with an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, versus 3 S's and a not seen it. I think him acknowledging that it's a great movie, even though he doesn't think it's a Christmas movie, puts it above Klaus because he's not seen Klaus. I think it still would rank above Klaus because of that. Because it is still a really good movie. Yeah.
So yeah, I put it up there. All right. Now we'll get back to it. James said Die Hard's not because it's Carrie's turn. Krampus's turn.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put this movie as S tier, but if no one else does, I will not be offended. I just have to bring it up because, I'd have to. I'm going to say White Christmas. This is like one of my this is my mom's favorite Christmas movie. We watched it every Christmas. So again, this is another nostalgia pick for me. I know like Chad has seen it, I think, once and he barely got through it. I understand if you can barely get through it. It's a long ass movie. And it's old. But I still love it. There are a lot of like classic Christmas songs in it. And I think it's just a great thing to throw on in the background during the Christmas season at the very least, even if you don't like sit there and watch the whole thing. Anyways, but yeah.
Awesome. Dill?
Yeah, I really enjoy this movie. I also enjoy Holiday Inn, which is kind of a very similar movie with similar music. But yeah, like I love this style of music, the Bing Crosby, Irving Berlin era of music. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. Like I wouldn't put it any higher than A, but it is a solid A for me just because of the elements I really love about it. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Kerri introduced me to this, and it was one of those movies that I tried to watch every Christmas for a few Christmases. And then, like, I believe it was last Christmas, I actually finally was, all right, let me actually get through this movie. Not that it's a bad movie. It just, I think it starts, I don't know. I just was having trouble getting into it. And then, as soon as I did, I really liked it. I think this is a really good movie. I do like the songs. I do like the story about them just trying to, save a place or something. I don't really remember a bunch of it, but a lot of the songs are great. And I also just kind of love it because Kerri loves it. I love that she loves it. So I would definitely put it. I would put it at A. Definitely not S for me. But yeah, James, have you seen White Christmas?
I have not seen that movie.
All right. So we have an S, 2 A's, and a not seen it. So it's going to be an A.
Yep.
So we got it here. A. So I guess we'll just put it there, and then we can talk about it later. All right, cool. So now we're at Dill. Yeah, you guys did.
So when I said earlier I had 4 movies, only 2 of them have still been talked about. It was Klaus and Die Hard. So I guess I've got to choose now between these last 2 of like my top 4 of all time.
I know one of them.
I know you know one of them, and I think it's gonna come up. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna do Elf. I love it. It is probably my favorite Will Ferrell performance, my favorite Jon Favreau film. Yeah, you Iron Man haters, sorry, but yeah, it's my favorite Jon Favreau film. It's an S tier. Put it on up there. It is really
all right.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay. If you disagree, that's fine. But it's near and dear to my heart. It came out at the perfect. I know he's joking. It came out at the perfect time because I know Chad loves it. I know Chad would put it at S too. But it came out at the perfect time for me. I was 5 years old when it came out. Like that was the prime age to be like just struck by the magic of it. I love the candy on the pasta. I love the moment where he got to get another outfit and he takes off his tights and then she walks in and sees him naked. Like. And it's all in the same scene, actually. That's really funny. But yeah, like that whole movie is just filled with so many hilarious bits that I always felt held up really well. And just seeing Jimmy Caan in a movie that is not this like darker mobster, misery, Godfather stuff. Like seeing him in a family Christmas film, but still playing that kind of like, tough guy. Like, I'm too cool for Christmas, or he's on the naughty list. Like he's this boss in charge of this company, or like he's in charge of these books and stuff. And then seeing him soften up. I mean, it was the perfect casting choice that I'm sure when people saw his name on the poster, they were like, wait, like James Caan from Misery, from Godfather, like that guy, Sonny. And yeah, it works so well. So I love this film. I was going to wait and see if someone else brought it up, but if it doesn't get brought up, I would hate myself for it. So I had to bring it up now. I love it to pieces. When they take off with the sleigh after he sings the last note, after James Caan sings, joins in on the song, sleigh flies, Buddy looks back at Jovi. I am a mess of tears when that happens, and I'm thinking about it now. If I keep talking, I'm going to start crying. So Chad, go ahead.
It's funny because that's exactly what, like I said to you, the other day when I was watching it. And so we both have the same reaction to that part. And that's so special. It's such a special movie and such a special part, just because like all the arcs have like come through, Walter Hobbs actually understands what's really important, kind of, another movie that'll probably get brought up on the intangibles. You actually like, know what's important. And that's what a Christmas movie is. It's just, it's not about business. It's not about, getting, the children love the books. It's not about, all this, whatever. It's about, family and just, loving each other. And, when he sings that last thing, the sled comes up, and you see Buddy has found his place. He's an elf. He's a full elf now. Like he is an actual elf. He doesn't have to be like all the other elves. He's his own kind of thing. And I think it's just so, such a beautiful movie. Jon Favreau directed the crap out of this. I think Will Ferrell, he's usually like a man child, but I think in this, he's like a man child in like a genuine way.
Yeah.
Because like he embodies this role. Like he's not him acting as an elf. It's just, he is Buddy. He is that character. And I just think, it's the role that he was kind of most meant to play. And, this movie is just a joy to put on every single Christmas. It's so funny, delightful, sweet, everything about it. I freaking love Elf every year. It's a Christmas classic and it's S tier. James.
Yeah, I agree. S tier. I mean, I agree with everyone, everything that's said so far. It's absolutely S tier. I love seeing Peter Dinklage in that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Pre-Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at you.
Call me up one more time. Feeling tough, my friend.
You're an elf.
Oh, man.
But yeah, for sure. S tier, no doubt.
Kerri.
Yeah, just because everyone else, I mean, it's already going to be an S tier, so I'll say S tier. I do really love this movie, and it does have a lot of nostalgia for me because I just have such great memories of watching it with Chad, watching it with my sister. I think it is such a delightful movie.
Hell yeah! All right. So what does that bring up? I
That's
should
you,
have did
Chad?
this.
Yep.
Oh, it's me next.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So, actually, I'll bring this. I'm having a lot of trouble with this, guys. All right, sorry. Look, so I'll go down. I haven't even really thought about my next book, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not sure if anyone else is gonna bring it up. I'm gonna talk about Miracle on 34th Street, 1947. It's an S tier, for me. Dill, have you been able to watch this yet?
We're covering it on our show this month, so by the
Yeah.
time this video airs, people will have probably already seen our video, so I will have watched it by then, but I am watching it Saturday night after we record this, so I have not seen it yet, and it is something I'm watching for our show that we're doing, Chad, on my channel, so
Yeah.
I almost kind of want to hear your thoughts, but at the same time I don't, so why don't I take my headphones off, you can talk about the film, and then, well, I know you love it, and then wave me back when I can rejoin, but I've never seen it, so I am assuming it'll end up pretty high, but I'm excited to hear what you all think about it, but after I've seen it, so
perfect. Yeah, so that's actually the cool thing. That's why I asked Dill about if he's seen it, because we like to talk about things fresh on our show, and be surprised about what we think about things. So, anyways, I love Miracle on 34th Street. You know, I watch this it's one of those, you know, where like maybe you might watch Halloween on Halloween. You know, it's like Miracle on 34th Street. I love watching this like pretty much every like Christmas Day kind of movie, you know, because it's such a sweet movie. You know, Edmund Gwynn as Santa Claus in this is just so sweet. The whole movie, you're trying to figure out, is this guy actually Santa Claus or just a crazy old man? And you know, by the end, you're like, yeah, he's definitely Santa Claus. But I just feel like along the way, you know, just the way he reaches the hearts of Susan Walker, Doris Walker, Mr. Gailey, and you know, the way he just kind of like has that spirit, and he's like, you know, talking about like business is not where, you know, making another buck is not really, you know, like make a buck is not like what it's all about. It's actually about children and like giving children, like Christmas is about, you know, giving children the exact present that they want, and, you know, actually reaching them, making them, you know, feel like, you know, they're special, and just, you know, teaching them how to be a kid and just, you know, live life and love life, and you know, family, stuff like that. So I absolutely love Miracle on 34th Street. James, have you seen this one?
So I have. I don't know how much I can really add to this because I haven't seen it in so long. It's been a very long time since I've seen this, and it's probably even been like bits and pieces I've seen. So I'm not going to have too much to say about this one. So we'll pass it on to Kerri, I think.
All right.
Oh my God! Sorry, spaced out. Yeah, this is S tier for me.
I'm sorry, Krampus. It's your turn, Krampus.
This is definitely S tier for me. This is one of my favorite holiday movies. I mean, there's not much more. It's just a classic. And I'm very excited for Dylan to see it. Maybe James, for you to revisit it. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it.
What? I'm just trying to mess with Bill. Wait, where did you put it?
S tier.
Okay,
cool.
So I was trying to mess with you there for a second. All right, so I'm sorry, James. I was trying to mess around too much. Where'd you put it, James? Miracle on 34th Street.
I'd go with S tier.
Okay.
I would put S tier.
3 S's and not seen
it in forever.
So I guess that's probably right about where it would be.
Yeah, it would be even with Klaus because 3 of you have seen it. One hasn't.
Perfect. I'll just leave it where it is then.
Cool.
All right. So now we're back to James, I think, right? Open this up.
Yeah.
James.
I'm going to continue my whole not a Christmas movie tirade here. I'm going to pick on Iron Man 3. Like Iron Man 3, a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Like I understand that again, a part of it takes place in that time, but like, what, Iron Man 3, a Christmas movie? First of all, it's a D for sure. It's one of my least favorite MCU movies. I know we're going to get to that ranking at some point, but Iron Man 3 was terrible. It was not that good.
Why?
How is it that all those extremist folks, right, can like regenerate themselves from like being shot and blown up and having water towers, you know, knocked down on them and stuff like that? But how is it that it's Gwyneth Paltrow in the end of the movie who kicks, and I've seen this movie recently, who kicked a missile at the actual Mandarin, which was also kind of a letdown too. She's the one who kicks the missile, which just blows up the Mandarin, but then he stays dead. Like, someone help me with that. Like, how is it that all these extremist folks can be so invincible in battle, and then the one girl, you know, kicks the freaking missile and he's dead now? Like, I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't see it in the same way other people did, but I didn't really like Iron Man 3 that much. It was not a good Iron Man movie.
All right,
So
not
it was a Christmas movie, not a Christmas movie as an MCU movie.
D is a regular movie.
It wasn't that good.
All right, D for dog shit. Gotcha. All right, Krampus.
Yeah, I agree with James 100%. I didn't even remember that this movie had any kind of connection to Christmas. You know, it's probably because I fell asleep during it, so maybe my vote doesn't count. But
Dylan's getting sad right now.
No, I'm not getting sad.
Sorry, Dylan.
I agree that I would keep it in the not a Christmas movie tier because I think this more so than like Home Alone and Die Hard. Like I think those templates for movies can take place any time of the year, but I think they're enhanced by the Christmas. This, you take the Christmas out of it, I think it still works as well as it does, or as according to you guys, as poorly as it does without it. Obviously there are Christmas moments. I consider anything that has a Christmas scene under the Christmas umbrella, but like, do I think of this as a Christmas movie first and foremost? No, it is a action movie, is a comic book movie. There are Christmas scenes, but that's about it. Whereas Die Hard, I put the action and Christmas very similar when I put it under a genre. This one I do enjoy. I really like it because I think it takes big risks. Does it always hit, a home run? No, but at least it's swinging. There's no walks. If we're making baseball analogies, they don't, just take the base. They either swing or miss. And I really appreciate a film that does that. It doesn't always hit, but I really like some of the surprises. I like the Mandarin twist a lot because I didn't see it coming because I wasn't a huge guy on the comics. I still am not. But not my favorite MCU movie. I think it's definitely in my top half MCU. I have to reanalyze those to come up with a ranking for that. So I would give it like a B just in this list, but I will kind of resort back to the not a Christmas movie tier, I think.
Yeah. Honestly, I put it in the Christmas because a lot of people put it on Christmas list a lot of the time. So that's why I kind of put it in the bank. So I'm fine with not putting it as a Christmas movie. I don't really have a good argument for why, other than like he kind of is a little family with that kid, and like he's, does a lot of special things for that kid, and it's at Christmas time and there's snow. Other than that, yeah, I can see it's not really like spread throughout the film like it is Die Hard. But also, yeah, I would kind of defend the movie a little bit. I understand a lot of people like James do not like the movie, and I get that. But yeah, I'm along the lines with Dill for that specific movie where I think it's actually my favorite Iron Man now. It used to be Iron Man 1, but I think this one just does a lot for the character. And, I love the relationship between him and that little kid. It's really nice. It's like a father figure for him. And, I just some of the action, like that sky diving sequence is just,
when they're all falling from the plane. Yeah.
It's amazing. But, that being said, since it's not a Christmas movie, James, do you want to nominate something else that you think is a Christmas movie, or did you want to say something else isn't a Christmas movie? I'll give you another shot since.
Well, this one will be quick because we've already talked about it in our one of our previous movies. But I think we can agree Harry Potter is not in and of itself a Christmas movie, despite the fact there is a scene and they do go home for the holidays. Not really a Christmas movie, but I mean, the movie itself S tier for sure, but maybe not a Christmas movie.
All right, so let's see, Kerri, what do you think about Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone being a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I agree with James. It's not one I would throw on during Christmas. I would rather watch movies that are more Christmassy, just because this has it takes place over an entire year. It just has one Christmas scene. And yeah, S tier movie, but for me, not what I mean, I understand that's a Christmas scene. I wouldn't object if someone threw it on during Christmas, but definitely during the Christmas season, I'm not like, oh yeah, we got to watch the Harry Potter marathon on what is it, whatever it's called now, Freeform or whatever. But yeah.
Dill?
Yeah, I think I did say on a Harry Potter ranking, it's also a Christmas movie in the sense that it is more Christmas than anything else. But I do think I agree. I don't think it is for this purpose of this list. Like it would not be in our top 10 Christmas movies just because the Christmas only plays such a big part, puts such a small part. But I do think it is a good family movie, holiday movie, and the fact that you could watch it around the holiday season. Like I could see you throwing it on Thanksgiving after dinner or on Christmas or even New Year's. I think it fits this time of year well, but I wouldn't, categorize it as a Christmas movie because I think you could also think of it maybe Halloween time also because it's got a little spooky elements. I mean, it's about witches and wizards. So I think it's a very good holiday film in the fact that it's a good one to snuggle up with the family and watch on a holiday, but I would consider it not a Christmas movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've all talked about on a previous ranking, our thoughts of Harry Potter in general and this film. I actually probably would still say that I qualify. I'm trying to expand my, Christmas, definition. I think this one feels more like a Christmas movie than Iron Man 3. Maybe not as much as Die Hard for me. and other Christmas movies that pretty much everybody thinks is a Christmas movie. But I think, like I said in the other thing, is just like the spirit of family and finding your place in family and stuff. Finding your home is what Harry goes through, and the fact that there is like a really good prevalent Christmas scene and stuff, and Happy Christmas and just stuff like that. I just think I would probably put it on a Christmas list personally, but I'm outranked here, so we will leave it on not a Christmas movie. And James, are you planning on keep doing this whole thing, or because if you are, then we'll move on. If you want to actually try to rank something, then
Well, all right,
You can
I'll
have another
put a
shot.
Christmas movie up there, but there's a few more I'm looking at where I mean I haven't seen the one in a while, and actually I've seen the other one too, but not in a while also. So why don't we go with? I'll just nominate Go All the Way. That's definitely absolutely one. I give it.
Jingle All the Way, nice.
Yeah, I would give it maybe a B. I think.
Okay.
Maybe an A, probably an A, just because I find this movie really, really funny too. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. Most of the stuff he's in is always good. It's memorable. It's quotable. I get that he's trying to find the popular Christmas toy. That's one that doesn't always get touched upon in the other Christmas movies. I'd probably give it an A. I think though. Yeah, we'll say A, and we'll see what you guys say.
Krampus.
I'll say B. I recognize that objectively this is like not a good movie, but somehow Chad and I watch it every single year, and I still laugh at it, and I still have a good time when I watch it. It's not my favorite because there are so many cringe moments that I'm like,
Put the cookie down.
But
Okay.
it is very heartwarming, and it is like a tradition now for us to watch it, and I can't see us going to Christmas, sadly, without watching this movie.
It's me next. I've never seen it. I am one of those people. My fun fact, which isn't really a fun fact, is I've never seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. That is just some weird fun fact. I've never seen The Terminators, never seen Predator, never seen Kindergarten Cop. But yeah, I've never seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I've made it halfway through Batman and Robin, so I've seen him act.
Okay.
But I've never finished.
You picked like the worst one to start with.
Well, because I was watching all the Batman movies, but it goes to show what the quality of that movie is if I stopped it halfway through. But I've never seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie the full way through. I feel like I've just seen so many clips of things, just like through Watch Mojo and other YouTube videos, that I feel like I've seen all the Terminator movies all the way through, just never in one sitting. Yeah, that's just like a fun fact of mine. I've even thrown on Kindergarten Cop when it's on TV, but I've never watched an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie all the way through. I mean, I guess that's just the era, because he wasn't really making a ton of movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was more like past the time of Arnold, but yeah, that's like a weird fun fact of mine. So it'll happen someday.
That's very interesting, Dale. I'd like to unpack that with you one day. But yeah, so Jingle All the Way is kind of a special movie for me. I saw it in the theater with my dad, and this is a movie about dads and sons. And I was I'm pretty much the same age as Jake Lloyd. And so this movie is just very special for me. I watch it every single year, like Kerri said. It's very, very funny. It's a very just fun movie. I kind of would disagree with Kerri. I think it is a good movie. I don't know if it's a great movie, like objectively, if that's even a thing for movies, but like, it's just a fun movie every year, and it just makes a lot of good statement about commercialism. And it's just very fun, like the rivalry between him and Sinbad. And it's just a fun movie to watch every Christmas. It's very quotable. But I would also rank it A. I don't know if I would go S for it, but I would definitely go A. So we got AA. Where'd you put it, Kerri?
B. So I think
B.
it goes in A.
A. Yeah, we'll leave it in A. Let me so you guys can see me do this. I actually didn't put it up there yet. Help me find it. Jingle All the Way.
Where is it?
For found
No,
it.
it's
Where
all,
are you
it's
hiding?
like
Found it.
found it. I don't know how I was going
Boom.
to describe that.
All right, so
I
now
was
we
just
go
pointing.
to Krampus, right?
Yep.
Finally, we're back to Krampus.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'll nominate It's a Wonderful Life.
There it is.
Okay, that's probably gonna be my next one. So
That was my
Okay.
fourth of my four of like
Got
my
it.
top,
Okay.
my
not a
top
Christmas
four all
movie.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an S tier for me.
Is it S tier Christmas?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
obviously. I don't know. It's just a beautiful story. It's a classic Christmas movie. Every year when we watch it, I tear up at the end. That's all I'm going to say about it. Everyone loves this movie. I don't know who doesn't. Maybe someone doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's flawless. I would put it at an S tier too. I think the only thing holding me back from like making it my like number one all time is just the fact that the rewatchability for me isn't as much there as Elf, because it's not as like lighthearted. It's not as easy to watch as like a diehard Elf Klaus, just because it is heavy, and it is almost too close to home at times. But I really, really, really love it, and I think it's well done. It's probably Frank Capra, one of his best. Yeah, definitely top few Frank Capra movies, top 5 for sure. Really, really amazing movie. So yeah, I'd say yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It'll be interesting when we get to 1946 on Picture This, and talk about this one amongst the other nominees. But yeah, this one, it is a great movie. You get like a kind of a tragedy, and then it's like a full arc for George Bailey. Where he he has so many dreams as a kid. He wants to be an explorer, and all this stuff, and then his dreams slowly start to get crushed by Mr. Potter and his dad no longer being like in charge. And so he wants to save the town, his business, and just make everybody happy, and he sacrifices everything for that. And it's just iconic, and everything about it is just so sweet. But it also has like its dark moments. Like he almost commits suicide one time, and then Clarence has to come in and save it. And you get in Supernatural, you get one of the best kind of jokes where Castiel, they call him Clarence all the time. That's amazing. So anyways, yeah, I agree with Kerri. I think everybody loves this movie, unless James has a really freaking hot take. I think it's also S tier. What do you think, James?
I haven't seen this, so yeah.
He hasn't seen It's a Wonderful Life.
I haven't seen
Oh
this movie.
man, I envy you for when you watch it, because I think you might like it. Watch the black and white version, because it was always meant to be seen in black and white and not color. Boom. All right. Well, SSS and not seen it, so it'll stay on S. And then we go to Bill. Yes.
Okay, so we've gone through my 4 that I was like ready to like just throw out there. And it looks like we have 6 in the top tier. So are we aiming for like to try to get 10 in the top tier? Or like how are we closing this out? Do you know?
I don't know yet.
Keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one. I want to pick one that maybe not a lot of people have seen or talked about or heard about. Okay, I'll do it. I'm going to do Arthur Christmas. I watched this for the first time this year as part of my 2011 retrospective. I went back, watched all the movies from 10 years ago. And this one was one that I hadn't seen. I like animation. I like Christmas movies, but I never really seemed intrigued by the trailers because it's animation and it looked a little childish. But wow, it packed an emotional punch. It was really, really beautiful, really, really heartwarming. An endearing protagonist, a really great cast of characters. I mean, there's not really much to say about it. I don't really remember certain beats of the plot. It's been a while since I've seen it, and so many movies I've seen since, but I remember really, really enjoying it. And I think it's just a great modern Christmas story, because I think a lot of these Christmas movies we have are either classics or have come out at least pre-2000, and I think the only ones after that that are Christmas movies, and not counting Iron Man 3, is Klaus and Elf. So I like to have another one from more of the modern era, and Grinch, I guess, but a newer movie on the list. So I'll put Arthur Christmas solidly in the A tier, because I think it's really good.
In the A tier, great. All right. Well, honestly, I would put Arthur Christmas S. To be honest, I saw this not that long ago for the first time, but I just think the animation is great. It's just got a great message. You know, Arthur is not Santa Claus. His big brother's going to be Santa Claus, but then Arthur's like the one that's like, no, every child is special. Like one child didn't get their gift, and they're going to be sad on Christmas. Santa's like, no, that can't happen. I can't stand for that. They need to get their present. And then he does this whole journey just to give this child her like bicycle. And just the animation of them getting to the house and like wrapping the bicycle while he's riding it. It's just so amazing. And all the voice work is incredible in this. And yeah, it's just such a sweet movie. And, you know, it's just very special. And the old grandpa, who at one point used to be Santa Claus, is pretty funny. It's just a really good movie. I think it's a S-tier movie. What do you think, James? Oh, let me actually.
Yeah, this is probably one of my more favorite movies to watch during the Christmas season too. I will agree with you, Dylan. When I first saw the trailers for it, I thought it looked a little bit like Childish 2, like maybe like just for kids. But I was working at the movie theater when this thing came out, so I saw it for free anyway. But I was very surprised at how much I liked it. And you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head with all your descriptions of it. There's not a whole lot to add to it, really. But this is, for me, it's an S tier Christmas movie. I really, really like this one a lot.
Krampus.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay, I was gonna say A tier originally, but you know, I'll move it up to S tier. Because I can't find fault with this movie. I think it is actually a perfect Christmas movie.
There you go.
It's so sweet.
Honestly, you've sold me. I'll bump it up to S too.
All right, fine. We got a unanimous S.
Unanimous
All
S.
right, we'll throw it up there, but we'll put it behind Die Hard.
Okay, fair. I would also put it behind Die Hard.
All right. That was Dill. All right, it's back to
Yes.
me. Let me look at this list real quick. Probably won't go on for that much longer. Let me find another one that I love because I should have been.
Yeah, do
thinking
we
about
want to
this.
do like one more round and then?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, then if it's one more round, I'm throwing up another one that I love. Bad Santa. I'm doing Bad Santa, y'all. This one, I don't know. It's weird because like I actually talked to my dad recently about it, and he's like, you know, kind of negative on the movie a little bit as a Christmas movie because he's like, you know, well, it doesn't like embody like Christmas like I think of Christmas. But I think that's kind of what's brilliant about the movie. Like it's kind of a raunchy movie, but it's not like too crazy with it. You know, so I can actually find enjoyment of it. But like, you know, Bad Santa, I just love the character of Willie when, you know, he's just this drunk, he's suicidal, he doesn't care. And then he meets this kid, Thurman Merman, and it's a funny name. And he's like, your name's Thurman Merman. And I just love him like yelling at this kid. Like, I know that's not like super Christmassy, but it's so funny because the way he is, he's kind of an asshole. And then he, you know, starts to fall in love with this kid so much so that after, you know, he gets kind of betrayed by his partner, his only goal is to give this kid that he's fallen in love with and been kind of a father figure for him. He wants to give him the gift that he wanted and be there for this kid because he has no one. And, you know, just that thought of it just makes it so sweet and such a really good Christmas movie in my mind. You know, he's not really Santa Claus, but he embodies a lot of what makes a good Santa Claus by the end. And it's just a really good arc. So I love Bad Santa. And I would also put it S tier. I love that movie. James.
I actually haven't seen this recently enough to be able to really review it. It was on Netflix however many years ago. I watched it once. I don't remember that much about it, so I'm going to just say I haven't seen it. There's not much I can put in for this one.
Kerri. Krampus.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm going to say B.
Okay.
I think that like this movie is good and it gets sweet by the end and it's also funny throughout. But if I'm choosing, like, you know, there's a limited number of slots during Christmas time, like a limited amount of time to watch Christmas movies. this definitely isn't one that I'm asking to throw on every year. It's fun to see once in a while, but it's not my favorite.
Okay. Dill.
I'm so sorry, Chad. I really don't love this. I really don't like this movie. I think it's just one of those things where you have to be kind of on board with its comedy from the beginning, where you won't really settle into it. And when I saw it, I've only seen it once, so maybe I do owe it a rewatch. When I saw it, I just like couldn't get into it. It just wasn't my style of humor, and I just didn't find him likable enough. So when he does go through that change in that arc, it just like didn't. I was never compelled to root for him. I just think I owe this one a rewatch, but it's definitely one that like when people bring it up, I'm like, oh, like that. I don't like that one, but I like how you like it, and that makes me want to go revisit it more. So
Nice.
I have to just, I feel like we've been so positive in this stream and this video. So like I'm gonna be the Grinch of the episode and say it's in my D tier only because I really don't like it, but it's in my D want to revisit tier. So it's like not in the lowest D possible. It's like in the D, like ready to climb up to the C's and B's, but not quite there for me yet. So I'm sorry.
That is totally fair. You do not have to apologize. It's totally fair.
I
get that people don't love it the way I do. But yeah, I absolutely love that movie. But I think an S and then a B and a D bring it to C.
S, B, and D would be B. But where did James put it? Did James put it anywhere or no?
He didn't. He hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
So I'll put it in B.
Yeah. Because
right,
F and D cancel each other out if B's right in the middle. Yeah.
So that was mine. James, do you have a last pick? It's your final one.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Maybe pick something that is a Christmas movie to you.
Yes, I will.
At the end, you can rattle off your other non-Christmas movies. I'd like to get your takes on those for sure.
All right, that's fair. All right, but no, for this one, I gotta talk about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
All right,
because this is one of my favorite movies to watch around this time.
I think top left, Chad. Top left.
Yeah, but where would it rank?
Oh, I thought you were looking.
I'd give it an A. I give it an A.
A. Okay.
I like the whole like family oriented aspect of it. I mean, I think it's hilarious. I love having Randy Quaid as cousin Eddie. And, Merry Christmas, shitter's full. I love bits in this movie so much. At the end when he gets the subscription to the Jelly of the Month club instead of his bonus and whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of funny bits to it. I enjoy it thoroughly. It's not like the best movie to be honest, but it's one I always watch in Christmas time, and I got to give it at least it's got to get an A for sure. I think at least. I like it a lot.
Hell yeah, dude! Krampus.
S tier for me. I'm so glad James brought this up because I had to choose between like 3 of my S tiers, and this was on the lower end of my S tier, but it's still S tier for me. I love this movie. I love watching it every Christmas. It makes me laugh every Christmas, and it's still, I think, maintains that holiday spirit.
Hell yeah, dude. Dill.
I saw this a few years ago, but it was once, and it like has not stuck with me in the way I wish it had, in the fact that I just don't remember enough about it to like say I really enjoyed it too much, but I do remember enjoying it when I saw it. It's one of those where like I missed the nostalgia era where it was coming out, and it was big in nostalgia, but like I do remember liking it. So I'll give it a B because I remember liking it, but I don't remember loving it enough to be like, oh, that's one of my all-time favorites. But Chevy Chase, can't go wrong. He's great. So
yeah, actually it's interesting because so I understand wait, James, did you say S or A?
I said A.
A, okay. Yeah, so it's interesting that Kerri didn't ask there. For this one, I do think it is a Christmas staple. I'll say that. Like, you kind of have to watch this one around Christmas because it is so funny. It is all about family. There's just a lot of great jokes in there. My favorite joke is the one when he tells the kids, I think I hear Santa. And then there's just like a really good pause, and then Randy Quaid is like, "Are you serious, Clark?" And it just cracks me up every damn time. But yeah, there's a lot of really great bits in that movie, and it's epic in a way. But I do think some of the jokes, like especially like the jeweler part, and basically all the horny Chevy Chase parts, I think kind of like slow it down, take it down a little bit. And Chevy Chase is kind of like, I think, a human being also kind of like makes me not really love it as much. So, but I would put it in like that A tier, like James said. So we have S, 2 A's, and you said B, Dill?
Yeah, I did B.
Then it's an A.
Solid.
So solid A. So trust me, it's there. All right. Krampus, what is your last pick?
All right. I have to choose between these two. My two other favorites. I'm going to choose the one that's like longer and more like actually a movie release. That
Brazil?
is Muppets Christmas Carol.
Nice.
S tier for me. I don't know. This is just like a joy to watch. The songs are amazing. It still has it does make me it's such a joy to watch, but it also makes me tear up, like the parts of when Michael Caine's like at his lowest. And I think Michael Caine is such a great like classic Scrooge in this. And the Muppets just make this story so fun. Anyways, S tier for me.
Dill?
Yeah, oh my god, I blanked on what movie we were talking about. I was just looking at it.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Muppet, duh. Because I was thinking of the other Christmas carols in my head. Because I was like, there's the Disney one. Because I was like, of all these Christmas carols, I love the Disney one with Scrooge McDuck, and then I love the George C. Scott version. I really like the Bill Murray Scrooged. I like even the Jim Carrey one. I like Jim Carrey. It's just the animation's weird. It's a little weird, but like that story is just so classic. But there's no better version than the Muppet one. Like that is the iconic, like top tier version of a timeless story. And I think the story itself deserves S tier, and that is the best of that story. I would give it S tier. I think it's a fabulous story. I think Michael Caine is incredible. Yeah, I love it. So S tier.
So the songs were Marley and Marley. I mean, there's just like such a fun Christmas movie to watch. The songs are amazing. You catch like little bits every time you watch it, like, oh, I forgot about that. That's so great. Just everything to do with Muppets that they do, they're just so random and crazy. And just Kermit playing Mr. Cratchit and stuff. And I agree. Freaking Michael Caine elevates this movie so much with his acting. He's giving like this freaking like Oscar performance in a Muppet movie, and I'm like, this dude is like ridiculous. Like, you're surrounded by like puppets, right? And he doesn't care. He's gonna give the best performance you've ever seen, and that's what he does. This movie's so fun. It's hilarious. It has the best music. Yeah, I would put it in S tier as well. It is my favorite version of Christmas Carol too. James?
I mean, I got to give it an S, no doubt. You guys have pretty much hit the nail on the head for everything else. I mean, the Muppets are hilarious. They're timeless. It's classic. It's a great take on a Christmas Carol. I mean, it's S for sure.
Boom. Shit, that puts it above Die Hard?
Yeah, because
yeah.
Boom. All right.
Wow. I didn't expect that, but I'm okay with that.
Fine.
Am I last? Oh boy. Yeah, this is tough because there's so many choices, and like I have to round us out. I'm gonna go with one that is very family friendly, great for the kids. Eyes Wide Shut. I'm kidding.
No.
I do love Eyes Wide Shut, and I do believe it is a Christmas movie, and it is great.
Okay.
But I am gonna go with one that I watched as a kid. Is my favorite. I know not many people have seen it, but it is one that I asked Chad to put on this, and it's Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. I love Mickey, Donald, Goofy, that whole gang. That was like me growing up. Those were like my childhood heroes watching on the screen. Great animation. I would give it an S tier just because it's like the most nostalgic to me. I know not many people have seen it because it is like a series of little vignettes and shorts, but I think it's really well done. You have the story about, Donald, Daisy, the nephews, and Scrooge McDuck. You have the Goofy storyline with his son Max, and then you have the Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto storyline. Like, it just really encompasses that family nature, but also like giving these characters a time to shine, because really these characters are in a lot of the shorts, but they really don't have their own movies. There are movies, but they're mostly shorter, so it's nice to have like a more feature length film with these characters, because we're so used to seeing them when we were so much younger in all the short little cartoons. I just love those characters, especially like the peak Goofy movie. Everyone loves that Goofy Max relationship. I love those characters, and that is a very meaningful Christmas movie to me. And I have a lot of honorable mentions that I hope we can like touch on after, or just like list them, because it was so hard to pick just one, but I want to end it on one that is a nostalgic favorite of mine. So I'm going Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
Yeah, honestly, I've never seen this movie all the way through, but because Dill mentioned it and wanted it on the list, I put it on while we were cooking, and we only saw all the way through. I don't know if Kerri's seen this all the way through, but we only saw all the way through the first little part.
We watched it together while we were cooking.
But I don't know if you've seen it before that.
Oh no, sorry. I didn't.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was saying.
No.
Anyways, we saw the first little part of it. So I can't rank it as a complete movie, but just based on the first little part of it with I love I was like, oh, is this kind of like a time loop Groundhog's Day type thing with this first one? And it was kind of fun. But then it was like so sweet, because I was almost gonna tear up when they were trying to be like, oh, Christmas is boring now, let's spice it up, and then they're trying to have a little fun, and then they end up ruin Donald's Christmas, and he's so sad, and I'm like, oh, this is so sad.
Yeah, those Disney movies will get you.
And I'd probably put it around A, just knowing where it is, if I can fairly rank it. And then the second one was a Goofy one. I loved Goofy movie and stuff, so I was having some fun with it. So I'd probably put it around A personally right now.
Nice.
To get it on the list, because I don't want it to not get on the list, because I think it deserves to be on there. It's a fun movie, especially to teach kids lessons and stuff. So James, have you seen that one?
If I have, it's been so long since I've seen it. I couldn't really contribute much to the ranking of it, though.
Cool. Krampus?
Yeah, I don't know if I can rank. I mean, if I need to rank it to get on the list, I put it, I don't know, A or S. I can only base it on the one little vignette we watched just now that almost made me cry.
Put it at the end of the A tier, Chad. Yeah, put it at the end of the A.
Yeah, let's make an executive decision. Because I think Kerri and I were both enjoying the very first part, and we're going to finish it.
Like, I almost cried.
I was really liking it. It was a very cute movie. And because it's so special for Dill, I think it totally belongs on the list.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, we'll just keep it on the end of the A there or whatever. Yeah. All right, cool. So we all rank stuff. We can go through honorable mentions in a little bit, but let's see where. Let's look at this list and see what's up. Let me actually get to it. All right, scroll up. So now we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We made 16 Christmas movies and 2 not a Christmas movies. So we'll just leave those down there.
But Chad, you can bump the Mickey down because you guys haven't seen it. You can. Bump
true. Yeah. Let's put that there.
That looks
all right. Yeah. So what are we doing here? Rudolph, is that number 1 for everybody? I would put Elf in front of it, to be honest. But
did everyone give Elf an S?
I don't think so. Did everybody give Elf an S? I gave it an S.
Then yeah, I guess it would be Rudolph, because that's the only one we all agreed was an S.
I'm fine with keeping Rudolph there, and then Elf, and then Muppet Christmas Carol, and then Die Hard, because James is S tier, but not for a Christmas movie. Are we fine with? I would put Miracle on 34th Street right behind Die Hard.
I would put it above those two too, because it is older. It's stood the test of time, I think.
And I would put maybe It's a Wonderful Life in front of Miracle, because I know a lot of people love that one more.
Because those 4 movies, one of us has not seen. It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle, Arthur, and Klaus. So actually, I think we all have seen Arthur. So maybe Arthur would go above those 3.
Oh,
Well, but I gave
Arthur
it. But I
there.
gave it an A. I gave it an A. So maybe.
Okay, well then I'll keep Arthur there, especially because it's a little newer. But then Klaus, would we have at the end or that before Arthur?
I mean, it was 3 S's and a haven't seen it, opposed to Arthur, which was 3 S's and an A.
True.
So I think.
Oh yeah,
A,
true.
3
Okay,
S's and an A
so
might be
the
above
S
it.
tier is currently solid.
Cool.
All right, and then for A tier, what are we thinking here?
I'd personally put National Lampoon's maybe above. Well, I mean, I think that's probably
Above
one of my
Jingle All the
favorites.
Way.
At least, yeah.
Okay.
But
What
I haven't
else?
seen Jingle All the Way. I was gonna say above White Christmas and Santa Claus, but I know like those are that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You want to put Christmas Vacation there?
That was my opinion. I mean, you guys
Okay.
can chime in. Yeah. I mean, I think the most iconic one is definitely Home Alone, so that makes sense being all the way up there.
Yeah, I would keep Home Alone there personally. And I'm fine with actually how it is right now. Does anybody have any objections for the A tier, how it looks right now?
No. The rest of the list
it's
looks
good like
to
that.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, yeah, and I think because James was such a big Grinch stan that it's Dill was so hard on my beloved Bad Santa that broke my heart a little bit there.
Man.
But I broke his heart on the original West Side Story, so it was kind of revenge there. Yeah. But yeah,
you riffed my Bernardo.
Oh, damn.
But I love the next one. So, anyways, yeah. So how it looks now, we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Elf, Muppet Christmas Carol, Die Hard, It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, Arthur Christmas, Klaus, Home Alone, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, The Santa Claus, White Christmas, Jingle All the Way, Mickey's whatever the rest of it's
Once
called.
Upon a Christmas. Once Upon a
There you
Christmas.
go. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey edition, and Bad Santa. And then for Not a Christmas, we had Iron Man 3 and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you currently reside.
Yeah. I would love to hear all of James's other Christmas movies.
All right, James, rattle them off, dude.
Well, all right. Someone may have to help me with this and how these movies were.
You say Batman Returns, Brazil.
Batman Returns. What part of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was Christmassy? Because I've seen that, but it's been a few years.
It takes place on Christmas. I don't know. There's just like kind of Christmas throughout, but it is kind of like a crime movie. But
I remember it being more like that. And
a lot of people put it on a list, but
along the same line of Die Hard, like I wouldn't put Lethal Weapon on there.
Some people do. I don't know.
It's not. I wouldn't even call it as actiony as Die Hard. What part of Batman Returns was their Christmas?
Dill?
It just takes place during Christmas.
Yeah, it takes place at Christmas. There's like the big Christmas trees and all the big toy soldiers and all the action going on in when the mayor's giving a speech.
That in so long either.
Yeah, and it's always snowing. I feel like I think also with Batman Returns, it's a little bit more Christmassy because it's winter and everything's very cold and like the Penguin's lair is very snowy. It kind of fits that winter vibe.
And
I think it's more winter than Christmas.
Penguin and all the penguins in the movie, they're family.
Yes, there you go, family. Yeah, no, I agree though. That whole bunch of movies can be either or. I definitely think so. I think you can be for, but mostly against. Yeah.
The only one that I'm gonna always defend to my dying day is Die Hard. Everything else that you're saying is not a Christmas movie. I'm fine with.
No.
Like I don't like Brazil.
I mean,
I would say that's more of a regular movie than a Christmas movie too.
I didn't even see Brazil on there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are some honorable mentions we have?
That stood out to me. Honorable mentions? Well, I mean, definitely Christmas Story, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. I liked that Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol. I like that one a lot.
Okay.
That's a good one in my book. That's all I'll say, though. Someone else can go. Someone else can go.
I'll throw out some honorable mentions real quick that weren't actually. I love Year Without a Santa Claus. That's another Rankin and Bass that I really love because I love Heat Miser and Snow Miser. And then Love Actually, I know people fall on kind of like the fence with this where they think it's a good movie or bad movie. I think it's kind of in the middle, but it's a fun movie. I don't like some of the like weird sex stuff that's in the movie. I think that's kind of weird. Like, why would you throw that in there? It could be a very sweet movie, and then you have some really stuff. But I love like the whole Alan Rickman stuff in that movie. I think it's like really, really good and sweet. Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, that's more of like a holiday movie. Like Dill was talking about the other one. Maybe it could be more of a Halloween movie, but it's kind of a Christmas movie too.
Yeah,
I actually love Scrooge. And then I know some people might disagree, but like I watched The Apartment for a second time as a Christmas movie this year, and I think it holds up as a pretty good, or it's a great movie. But I think it also holds up as a good Christmas movie too. I love Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. I know some people might disagree, but it's so fun. Ernest Saves Christmas is fun. I love both Christmas Chronicles. The second one is so batshit crazy that I just love it so much. And then also a surprise one is a Christmas Horror Story. That one I didn't expect to really like, and I really liked it. I thought it was kind of genius. And then freaking Gremlins and Black Christmas are some fun like little horror movies that are Christmassy.
Nice.
Krampus?
I would say the only one that's an honorable mention that hasn't been mentioned yet, either on the list or someone else's honorable mention is Charlie Brown Christmas. I love that.
Yes, and the music from that is so brilliant. It's a great album too.
Yeah.
Dill?
All the honorable mentions you guys mentioned, like Love Actually, The Apartment.
I don't know why.
I think The Apartment is a really good one, especially the other side of Christmas of like that idea of being alone and feeling hopeless, like you don't have anyone, and like kind of that odd couple coming together or whatever. But some that I just jotted down is like fun ones that I didn't even see on the list because like I thought of these after the fact that aren't really Christmas movies but have great Christmas scenes. Mean Girls, I love that scene, the Jingle Bell Rock where the boombox freezes and midway through. Rent, it's behind me because I love the Christmas bells number with all the snow. It's beautiful. Meet Me in St. Louis has a really great song. The Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Love that. Edward Scissorhands has a few Christmassy vibes. Just Friends is a really fun Christmas movie. Some dated comedy in that. The new series Hawkeye, I know it's a series, not a movie, but I am really digging it so far. I hope it sticks the landing. By the time you're listening to this, I believe it will have already come out. But Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is probably the worst Christmas movie I've ever watched. And it's like one of those so bad it's good movies. It is atrociously bad, but it is the most entertaining mess I've ever seen. And then a very new one that came out that does take place on Christmas is The Green Knight, which is in contention for one of my favorite movies of the year. So yeah, a lot of like oddball choices that I just want to rattle off that I'm like, oh, these all have Christmas scenes. So there you go.
Yeah.
And another a new movie that came out that I don't want to spoil because it might spoil a plot point, but there's a movie in theaters that people are seeing a lot. So there might be some Christmas stuff in that too.
Yeah. And another one that I really actually kind of liked was Noel. That was a really good one. And then there's also the older ones, Bishop's Wife, which is going to be on Picture This, and then also The Shop Around the Corner. So,
did you get around to watching that, Chad? The Shop Around the Corner?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, how was it? Because I heard Bibbs recommended on your other stream thing, so I need to go check it out.
Yep. So, well, that's basically it. We had a great Christmas time. Got our Christmas spirits up. I'm probably going to go watch some Christmas movies. Did we want to plug anything?
I'll plug the channel that I run, the Dill Pickle Movie Network. Chad is on a show called Picture This, where we did just cover the movies from 1947. So by the time you're listening to this, I will have watched Miracle on 34th Street. That I'm watching right after we film this, which is going to be fun. I can't wait to talk about that and The Bishop's Wife, like you said, and some other movies that focus around like a really heavy Jewish themes, which is relevant. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. Relevant to also the the other holidays being celebrated around this time, like Hanukkah. Honoring other people who are having a great holiday season as well, hopefully. But yeah, I love Christmas. I was happy to do this. Great choices. I will go watch Jingle All the Way and Predator and Terminators and all those soon, I promise.
Great. Yeah, I'm on that show sometimes. I have a great time doing it. He has a great channel there. Please check it out. James Krampus, do you want to plug anything? Okay, no from them. So yeah, I had a great time talking Christmas movies. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Have a great time. I hope to do some more rankings. These guys are so much fun to hang out with. Have a merry little Christmas.